Hello FIGGIE fiends and collectors, this is me, Daniel East 1000, and I used to be a 334-inch figure collector. So how is it I've gone from this to this? It's a long story. I want to try and keep this video positive, which is really difficult for me, especially when talking about this line of figures. How they went from peak modern day Star Wars figure collecting to what it's become now. It's almost kind of tragic. When 6-inch Black Series came onto the scene, I said to myself, I will always be a 334-inch figure collector at heart. That would be my main collecting focus. Skip forward to now, and that has flipped completely on its head. Confession time, I think it's been about a good year or so since I bought a 334-inch figure, which really does say something. So why is that? First and foremost, it's price increase. Now, price increases always happen. Price is always going to go up. Price is always going to inflate. I've been starting to notice a couple of websites charging extortionate amounts for 334-inch figures, to the point where I look on some websites that are charging £15 for a Star Wars 334-inch figure, and I just think if I spend an extra £5, I can get something bigger and slightly more detailed. Furthermore, vintage collection case sizes are pathetic. You're getting like 4 figures in a case. The releases are so few and far between that I just don't care, quite frankly. There's no hook. I mean, it's great they're releasing play sets, that's something we've been wanting for years, but why release 2 play sets near enough the same time but have no figures out there to actually inhabit it? Vehicles as well, Hasbro seems so focused on releasing big, massive vehicles. I mean, they're big ticket items. I'd love to have them, don't get me wrong, they look fantastic, but not everyone has the space for it. Not everyone has the extra spending cash for that sort of thing. What kid is going to have the pocket money for something that big? 334-inch figure collecting for me was you could get your figures and then you could get some reasonably priced vehicles. It's meant to be the happy middle ground. Star Wars the Black Series to me always felt like it was going to be the more richer in taste line. 334-inch and the vintage collection for me appealed to both ages of collectors. You had the nostalgia for the collectors, having characters that you've never seen before or already seen before, modern figures on vintage card, and then for the kids, the appeal is naturally having these characters that they've seen from the film, that they've just watched, and yet for them they're releasing like 1 or 2. Saying to them, oh, you can have Rey, but you have to wait for us to release them in like 2 or 3 months' time. It's a missed opportunity, and it's a lack of diligence, and I think that's what it ultimately does boil down to, particularly in their character selection. There are so many characters that Hasbro could do that I'd love to see on a vintage card that we should have probably gotten by now, but because of all these factors, I've just made the line fall so damn flat. I like Hasbro, I like the products they create, but at the end of the day, they're making toys. It needs to be that happy middle ground in terms of 334-inch, because that's where people start. It's where I started, and then ultimately I've moved on to stuff like this, 6-inch Black Series. But in this case, it's only because the character selection's there. I love the figures they do, it's just the choices. If they can take my negative and spin it into a positive, we'll be golden.